Bobby, Bobby, Bobby!
Welcome back to Bobby's Kombucha Corner. Last week we showed you how to make something like this, kombucha with one fermentation process. This week we'll show you how to turn this into this, kombucha with two fermentations. As you can see, this one has more color, more fruit flavor, and more fizz. So if you want a fizzy kombucha that's fruity flavored, this video will show you how to do that. This week we'll make strawberry peach fizzy kombucha, but next week I'll have a few other flavors that we can try. Let's get brewing. So the first thing you'll need is kombucha from your first brew with the SCOBY still inside. If you don't know how to do this, see a video that I'll link in the description. The next thing you'll need are fruit or herbs or whatever flavor you're going to use. I used frozen strawberries and peaches. You can use fresh fruit as well, but frozen's fine as long as you thaw it. The last thing you'll need is glass bottles to hold your second fermentation. I prefer the long neck bottles with the flip top lid. These are really good for creating more fizz in your kombucha, and you can get them on Amazon. But you can use anything glass. Mason jars also work. Or you could use your original fermentation vessel as long as you have a lid for it. So now that you have your ingredients, it's time to rebottle your kombucha to do the second fermentation. First, you're going to taste your brew and make sure that it's not too vinegary. Then with clean hands, remove your SCOBY and put it in another glass vessel. Then you're going to add 2 cups of kombucha liquid as your starter for your next batch, if you're using a gallon brew jar like I am. Next, I'll thaw my fruit and then puree it. I use a juicer to get a fine puree, but you can also use a blender, food processor, or any other tool to get a fine puree. It's good to get as fine a puree as possible because this unlocks the sugars in the fruit for the kombucha to process those, and that leads to more fizz and flavor in your final product. Once you have your fine puree, you can add about 2 to 3 tablespoons to each 16-ounce jar. Then top each bottle off with the kombucha from your first fermentation, leaving about 1 or 2 inches of space at the top of the jar if you're using a long-necked bottle like I am. This space at the top is important if you want to make your brew fizzy. So close your bottle and then re-ferment it. Keep it in a dark place inside that's between 70 and 80 degrees for 2 to 4 days. After 2 to 4 days, you can enjoy immediately or refrigerate your kombucha. Be very careful when you're opening it, as it might be very carbonated and it might fizz all over the place. I would suggest putting a plastic bag over it and opening it into that bag. Also, there may be some fruit or yeast particles floating in your kombucha. You can either strain those out or drink it as part of the drink. I like to strain mine just so it's a smooth drink. Great job! You just completed your second fermentation of kombucha. You're a pro kombucha brewer now. Comment below on how your kombucha turned out. If you think it wasn't fizzy enough or not fruity enough, maybe try next time to brew it a little longer, a little hotter, or maybe puree the fruit a little more. Also, we're gonna have some new ideas for exciting herbs and spices to put in your kombucha. Watch out for our video coming out soon on that. Thanks guys, like and subscribe below, and happy drinking!